Hi, I'm Dr. Phil Wright, giving you common sense solutions to everyday problems. In today's edition, we will be discussing what is your virtual age and how to lower it. And if you like what you hear, please like and hit the subscribe button. Now let's get to getting younger. What is your virtual age? Well, we know that chronological age is what's on the clock, your numerical age, 40, 50, 60, and so on. Your biological age is what you are physically. You can be 30 and have an old, deteriorating, and inflexible body, whereas you can be 70 with a youthful, flexible body of a 40-year-old. So that's your biological age. So what is your virtual age? Well, virtual age is subjective, but may still give an account and an accurate measure of your condition. Satchel Paige, who pitched in the major leagues in the late 50s, he was actually 59 years old, he mused, "How old would you be if you didn't know how old you were?" In essence, Paige was talking about virtual age. Virtual age is the median point between your chronological age and how you feel. For instance, some people will say that they feel older than their age, and that belief manifests itself in their bodies. Now, it can add to their countenance, because if they consider themselves to be old, they could be out of shape and suffer the maladies of being stooped over and all kinds of things that manifest themselves on people being decades older. Conversely, individuals who feel that they are younger than their years tend to be in better physical condition, show more flexibility, and suffer fewer medical maladies than those who are that age. Now, there's a correlation to that thinking in thinking younger and living longer. Studies show that people who believe that they are younger than their years on average live 10 years more than their peers in their age group. A lot of this goes back to your subconscious mind, because it's what you tell your subconscious. If you tell your subconscious something, it's like a literal child. It's recording what you say on a record that plays over and over in the background. So if you tell yourself you're old and you're decrepit and you're falling apart, that's the thing that records in your subconscious, and you manifest that within yourself. But conversely, if you tell yourself that you're young and vibrant and you're younger than your years and you're not aging, that same thing will be manifested in your subconscious. You'll do things younger, you'll act younger, you'll take better care of yourself, and that goes back to the theory of the virtual youth, that the person who thinks young, acts young, and is young. Regardless of how you might think about biblical terms in the Bible, it has a saying that holds true in this, which says, "What a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." That's how virtual age works. So, how do you arrive at your virtual age? What you do is you look at the actual age that what you are, 40 or 50 or 30 or whatever it may be, or 70, and you estimate within reason how old you feel based on your mental condition and your physical condition. Now, you have to be realistic about this, because you can't say that you feel like you're 10 years old or something ridiculous like that, but make it within reason. Rather, it's a number that's feasible. For example, a 70-year-old man who feels like he was 40 would have a virtual age of 55. In other words, you add the chronological age of 70 to his perceived age of 40, and then the result is 110. And you divide that number by 2, and you arrive at a virtual age of 55. So it's not out of the question for a 70-year-old in good health and has reasonable flexibility and mobility to have a virtual age 15 years younger. Conversely, that same 70-year-old man who feels like he's 90 has a virtual age of 80, because you can use that same formula of adding 70 to 90 and dividing by 2, that gives you 80. So what of a person with a virtual age which is higher than what he or she wants? How can that person lower their virtual age to an acceptable number? Well, the first step is to incorporate exercise. Now, exercise is the closest thing to a fountain of youth that science has found. And a study was conducted on 150 members of a retirement home who were over 90, and they were unable to care for themselves, and they were on walkers or they had canes. So they were placed on a resistance or weight training program for 4 months. And over that time, 90% of the participants were able to become physically self-sufficient, and many were able to rid themselves of their walkers and canes. Now, muscle atrophy from disuse is the greatest ager of mankind and leads to unnecessary invalids. And also, exercise stimulates telomerase, and that's the chemical that determines the length of cell telomeres. What telomeres are is they're the key to aging and cell death, because as they get shorter, cells die quickly and aging sets in. In other words, the longer your telomeres, the longer you stay younger and viable, which in turn means that that's the longer you live. Now, it doesn't have to just be weight training that you do that can stimulate all this, but you can walk, or you can jog, or you can do gardening. That will do, but you have to use it to keep from losing it, to coin the phrase. Now, the second step is diet, and that's not going on a diet, but changing your diet, what you eat. Now, one of the greatest agers of man is alcohol, along with sugar and salt. Now, fast food is fast, but it slows down your body and metabolism. So if you want to turn back the clock, you must turn down those McDonald's hamburgers and milkshakes and pies, and curtail your intake of sugary desserts and drinking too much beer, wine, and alcohol. Because your body and age are dependent upon what goes into your mouth, as well as what you do physically and your level of maintenance. So the next thing you have to do is, if you smoke, you need to give up smoking, as cigarettes will age the body by inhaling carcinogens, as well as causing facial wrinkles due to the fact of you inhaling and that pulling action on the cigarette and sucking, and it causes wrinkles in the face. Now, this should be a no-brainer, yet millions of people are still practicing this aging habit. Now, the next thing you need to do is to get at least 7 hours of sleep per night, and not to exceed 9 hours. Sleep is restorative and anti-aging. However, sleeping more than 9 hours per night has been proven to have a negative effect on your health. And finally, antioxidants such as vitamin C, vitamin D3, and B have proven anti-aging properties, as well as drinking green tea. Green tea is a great antioxidant. Now, oxidation of cells and shortening of telomeres has been determined to be the mitigating factors behind aging. So antioxidants quell the oxidation, which leads to cell damage. And when you stop cell damage and you lengthen telomeres, you live longer and you live a better life. And there you have it, how to determine your virtual age and how we may reset it. I'm Dr. Feel-Right. Thank you for watching, and if you like what you've heard, please hit the subscribe button. Have a nice day.